What's happening, B1 family? What's happening? This is Chef checking in from New Jersey. And I got to ask you today, does the Queen of Comedy still look like a conspiracy theorist? Or does she get the last laugh? Keep it locked with me, B1 family, as I keep my foot on white supremacy's neck. What's happening, B1 family? What is happening? We have a quick unpacking here today for you. And you know what? I think this is, I got to give our sister Monique her roses while she's still here. She tried to explain to a lot of us, right, about all the fuckery that's been going on. But, family, before I get into this subject matter and my partners for today, I got to get my music popping. That's right, B1 family. That's right. Let's get into those partners really quickly, family. Holisticvibes.com. Those guys do phenomenal work when it comes to sea moss. I mean, they do it in 3 different ways: sea moss face mask, sea moss jelly, and sea moss gummies, y'all. When you visit those guys at holisticvibes.com, enter the D code on their necks to get 10% off any of your purchases. And I want you to know, family, they ship anywhere on the planet. So it's a phenomenal, reliable company. When you go over there, enter that D code and make sure you let them know the chef sent you. Let's keep on going. I got my guys here coming out of Georgia. Okay, wishingyouwould.com. Phenomenal black-owned company here, doing custom water tables and memorialized portraits in your home made out of all wood. I mean, these guys do an exceptional job here. So when you go over and visit those gentlemen at wishingyouwould.com, I want you to enter the D code We Wish You Would to get 15% off any of your purchases, okay? And make sure you let them know the chef sent you. And that's on their necks. Yeah. Family. I also got to mention one of my good partners here as well, Just Salads. These guys do phenomenal custom salad bowls. Very quick service here and high quality ingredients. Good amount of their stuff is sourced locally, and they're using local farmers and gardeners to actually bring in as much produce as they can get regularly. I respect that. So when you go over there, this company's out of Totowa, all right? Totowa, New Jersey. So when you go over there, enter the code CCV to get 10% off any of your purchases and let them know the chef sent you. Now, family, one of the very important thing here, when you tap into this kitchen, family, I need you to hit that subscription button right away. Just hit it. Don't even waste no time, right? And make sure you do not forget to like and share this program right off of GP, okay? And anyone that's looking to contribute to the kitchen, feel free to do so. We take it. Cashapp, $, Crenshaw Enterprise. Anything is appreciated, family. And also, for my new people, feel free to do that. It is appreciated. And my day ones. Listen, if I forgot to shout any of you out who have contributed to my Cash App, shoot me an email, y'all, on their next at Gmail, so I can make sure I give you your kudos right? We've been doing very good with the Cash App, so I just want everybody to know that I appreciate you over here on the B side, B1 side of the game. Okay, so with that being said, B1 family, let's get into today's material, y'all. I'm very excited about this, but I want to do it quickly. You know what I mean? Monique, all hell Queen Mo. Okay? Our sister here has been telling you all the fuckery that's been going on in Hollywood for a very long time. And when she comes out and talks her talk, right? A lot of you motherfuckers try to act like, hey, Monique is just a troublemaker. But we know how white supremacist media gets busy, right? Everybody becomes crazy. Everybody becomes irate. Okay? Very difficult to work with. Typical fucking white supremacist talking points when it comes to dealing with black people. But our sister was like, listen, you niggas got to pay me what you owe me. You understand? Now, Mo went around letting everybody know that, listen, when you guys approach me, particularly Netflix, when they approached her, they tried to pay her like $500,000. So equivalent to 500,000. And Mo was like, oh, hell no, kiss my ass. Do you know who I am? That's Queen Mo. Huh? Look at our sister. Looking fabulous. Huh, Mo? You got to respect a sister that's staying 10 toes on her shit. You know what I mean? They just didn't like the fact that Mo was giving everybody that work back. So they wanted to try to be on that bullshit. Right? And then they send different clowns out, like Tyler Perry and Oprah, to talk shit about our sister. And then, of course, Whoopi wanted to chime in. And Whoopi, I tell you, Whoopi, she been so wishy-washy, and we've been, if you've been tapping in lately, y'all see I've been unpacking her ass. Them Jews got on her back and whooped her into shape real quick. Told her to sit on down. Huh? But I want to rewind a little bit here. To this very day, this was an interview on The View, y'all. And I'm going to cue this up for us really quickly here. Interview on The View with Whoopi and Mo. All right. And of course, the rest of the cast of The View there. And, this is a call to boycott to boycott Netflix, which I agree with. Shit, they need to get boycotted. Okay? So she came out letting them know, like, listen, this is some bullshit, y'all. So let's go ahead and stop this. Right? And I'm gonna bring it all full circle for y'all. Do you see where I'm coming with this shit here? Okay? But let's go ahead and tap into this interview.
Comedian Monique is calling for
Fair use by the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances are made for fair use for learning purposes and educational purposes. Fair use. Let's get into it.
Boycotting Netflix for gender and racial discrimination, saying she was offered a fraction of what other comics are being paid by the streaming network for comedy specials. Here to story with us today. So please welcome the fabulous Monique.
I felt a little hate on that introduction, though. Listen, it ain't just me. I know I'm not bugging B1 family. I felt a little spicy, little hate from Whoopi on it. You know what I mean? I felt a little hate, but we're gonna keep on going. And just a little FYI, B1 family, we're looking at something that took place about 4 years ago. And just so you know, this is 2024 right now. And you all know what happened with your girl Whoopi. But in case I need to refresh your memory, family, at the end of this clip, make sure you get to the end of the clip. I'm going to attach that Whoopi program for you, just so you can see. All right, for those of you who haven't seen it already, see what happened to Whoopi. And then ask yourself, was Monique lying or on some conspiracy theory type shit? I'm going to tell you she wasn't, but let's keep going.
So, Mo, Netflix offered you $500,000 for a comedy special.
Yes.
They reportedly gave Amy Schumer $13 million.
Yes.
Is your issue that Netflix offered Amy more than you, or that you feel they're discriminating against women or women of color? What exactly?
Well, the issue was when I first said, let's boycott Netflix, I said for gender bias and color bias. Because when Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle received their offers, they were $20 million, and they were very public about the offers. When Amy Schumer initially received her offer, it was $11 million. She went back to Netflix and said, I shouldn't get what the legends are getting, but because I'm a woman, I should get more. And Netflix agreed, and they then gave her $2 million more. That's where the $13 million comes from. So in the discussion with Netflix, Robbie Prohl, who was vice president of comedy, when he was speaking with my husband, Sidney, and our attorney, Ricky Anderson, they were saying, you know, speaking in reference to the deal, and they wanted to know, how did you come up with that number? How is it that Monique gets paid $126 less than Amy Schumer would get paid? And Robbie Prohl said, well, we go by what we anticipate you'll do.
Right.
So then Sidney said, well, based off of Monique's resume, you see that what she's done. I know, but we don't go off of resumes. He said, well, then may I ask how you came up with Amy Schumer's number? He said, well, she sold out Madison Square Garden twice, and she had a hit movie in 2017. Sidney then said, is that not Amy Schumer's resume? And then this was the response.
Radio silence.
It got dead silent. And then he said, we appreciate what you're trying to say. And then they said, well, because Sidney and Attorney Anderson said, well, what is your best offer? Robbie Prohl said, we'll go back and we'll meet with the team, and then we'll come back to you guys.
But Monique, when she sold out two full houses at Madison Square Garden, that means the girl can pull. It's all about asses in the seats.
I totally agree with you.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's not her resume. That's what she drew.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And when you look at the resume of Monique, that's asses in the seats.
Checkmate. Come on, I got to call it like it is, and you got to call it like it is.
So please.
I moved that back too far for us, y'all. But that's a checkmate if I ever saw one. You understand me? That is one hell of a checkmate if I ever saw one.
And
If
with Amy
you gotta
Schumer
be.
and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, and let me say this, what they got, they were supposed to. I don't have an issue with my sister Amy, nor my brother Dave and Chris. But when the vice president of Netflix says to my husband and our attorney, by the way, Monique is a legend too. Well, if I'm a legend, why wouldn't I get what the legends are getting?
Do you think they underestimated the power of the black dollar?
Well,
Because you say you can fill those seats.
I know they
Are they
underestimate
underestimating
the power
that?
of the black dollar. The black dollar, we see that in our movies, in the theaters that we're given.
Black
We
Panther,
see that.
right now.
Well, we see
Raking
that.
it in, yeah.
And it's breaking it in. And the question I would say is, that's not something that
The magic is calling you to a celebration.
Bear with me, family. These motherfuckers gotta hate on my flow. They got to hate on my shit.
Join us for the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration.
Such haters.
that's not something that we don't do. Our movies do that when we're giving the proper opportunities.
Okay.
So when it comes to Netflix, and I have to go back to it, when you tell me that you are a legend, and we do know that Monique is great and Monique is funny, then how do you offer me $12.5 million? Then you offer Amy Schumer and $19.5 million that you offer two men that you say are legends.
Right.
But what
Yes.
you say
Monique,
to,
I'm sorry. We have to say that in a statement to ABC, Netflix says that they don't discuss contract negotiations. But that being said, Wanda Sykes actually came out in support of you, saying that Netflix offered her even half of what they offered you. So what was your reaction when you found that out?
Well, let me say this with Netflix, because they said they can't comment because they're in the middle of negotiations. There are no negotiations. Netflix came back and said, pretty much, you take it or leave it. That's what it is, and we're not willing to negotiate it. When Wanda Sykes came out, I applauded that. And I understand why oftentimes you don't be the first one to come out, because it can be a scary place. But then when you know that Wanda Sykes is with the same agent as Dave Chappelle, as Chris Rock, as Amy Schumer, why was Wanda Sykes the only one offered $250,000?
That is suspicious.
That is very suspicious.
Let me say something before. We don't have a lot of time.
Big names.
Because this is a more unpleasant question, but I want you to respond to it. Because there are people who think that it's because you have you have a difficult reputation, that you're a bit of a troublemaker.
Yes.
That all started 8 years ago.
Yes.
So what do you say to that?
I say thank you for letting me
That's
speak
why
on
they
it.
didn't want to hire you.
And 8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. And thank you. Thank you, baby.
Very good.
And on that film, I received $50,000, and that was not my argument nor my fight, because that's what I signed up for. Once I did all of my obligations, my deal was with a man named Lee Daniels. I did all of my contractual obligations, and I was done. Then when I start getting calls from Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, and they wanted me to come work for free. They wanted
what?
to go over to Cannes and promote this film internationally. And I said to them, I said, guys, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. And they all agreed. And this is what happens, in my humble opinion, when you don't go up to the hotel room. See, when I think about those women that
Wait,
said—
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because contractually,
Yes.
when you make a movie, regardless of who you sign the deal with,
Yes.
your job.
Look at Whoopi.
Yes.
She couldn't help
When
herself.
you make a movie,
Whoopi could not help but throw that cape on.
Yes.
when you make a movie, regardless of who you sign the deal with,
Yes.
your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes.
No. But so when they wanted you to come, and we've had this
Yes, we did.
conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
And when we did have that conversation, and what I said to you, my sweet sister, I said, Whoopi, at what point do we stop saying the—
Look at this. You could have called me so I could have schooled you. How the tables turn, baby. How the tables fucking turn, y'all. But stay locked with this.
the next time? Because what was expected—
wait,
but I want
next
to answer it,
time?
though.
Yeah.
I want to answer when you say
You wanted to
contractual.
get paid for the publicity.
Please let me answer. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Because if I had done something wrong contractually, they would have sued me. The reason why no one could do anything to me contractually, because they found out I did nothing wrong contractually. So when they asked me to come overseas to promote the film, when I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family, I'm gonna pass. Now, when I make this statement, this is what happens when you don't go to the room. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, when you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in.
Okay, we have to go.
Yeah.
Look at that, y'all. I want to tie it together for you, right? Kaepernick kneeled. How long has it been since he kneeled? He didn't play ball, so to speak, quote unquote, right? He still has no job. Mo is telling you that people out here pulling strings on the bullshit behind the scenes, y'all. Our sister Mo is telling you. Now I'm going to stop this screen share here, and we're going to go right into another one. Now remember, that is 2000 for my B1 family. That's 2018, what I just showed y'all. her interview on The View with Whoopi being the only one who felt the need to challenge her. Okay? Right? Again, more of the let's sick a black person on another black person. Right? And I wonder if Whoopi is just doing that because she feels the need to, right? Or do they set these things up, right? Because what they did Whoopi the honors as well, right? And they brought out a black guy to get on Whoopi's ass, right? To talk down on her on one of those news networks. But what do I know? I'm just a little guy over here who likes to bring you the motherfucking gist of the day. So now, this is another clip taken about maybe 12 hours ago, family. This is current right now. And this is Monique addressing the whole situation. Now, she told you Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry was on some bullshit behind the scenes. And it was fucking with her livelihood. So we gonna let our sister Mo keep cooking on that ass.
Now, when Al Sharpton heard the tape, because he heard it, he said, that man is wrong. And you're like my daughter, so I'm going to have to call him up. Kevin Hart heard the tape. He said, Mo, I called him, and he said he don't want to revisit it. And I didn't push that. I was grateful that he kept his word, and he called. Our mutual friend, when I explained what was really going down, she was like, I'm not with that. Let me call him. And she called him. And he said, I don't want to revisit that. Then he called back while we were on the phone, and he said, no, I changed my mind. I will meet with Monique, but not with her husband. And then she has to apologize to me and Oprah Winfrey for saying that we had anything to do with ruining her career. Now, that was recent. So as I sit here with you and you say, wait a minute, I heard that man say he was wrong.
Yes, I did hear it.
And was going to apologize. Well, that's turned into, now I'll meet with you, not with your husband, and now you have to apologize to me. How does that happen? And I'll tell you how, and I want to look right into the camera if I can. Oftentimes, when it comes to a Black woman speaking up and speaking out, it goes unheard until she dies. Then one...
You better talk, Mo. You better tell the truth about this bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. Look at Queen Mo cooking these motherfuckers. Okay? We have to understand that the casting couch is a real thing. Right? It's not just a real thing in physical form, family. But it can also be a real thing metaphorically as far as conduct. You understand? Our brother Kwame Brown, although he can be questionable sometimes, but Kwame Brown calls it go along, get along. But let's keep going.
Then once she dies, then we go back and say, well, she was right, and let's make a movie about it. See, I can give you their names, Eartha Kitt. I can give you their names, Hazel Scott. I can give you their names, Fannie Lou Hamer. I can give you their names, Hattie McDaniel. All of those women took a stand. And all of those women left here heartbroken, unhealthy, looking at a community saying, y'all know I'm right, but why won't anybody say anything? People will ask me, do you dislike or do you hate Oprah and Tyler and Lee? No, let me be clear. I love those people. We love those people. My husband and I love, they're our brothers and sisters. And as my husband always say, Mama, we ain't calling nobody out. We simply calling them up to say, listen, let's make our community better by making it right, not keep running and hiding behind what you consider is your power.
Shout out to our sister right there, cooking like you supposed to, okay? Are you for the people? We're just calling it to the table. That's what she said. You understand? In layman terms. Are you really for the people or are you using this shit? Because right now, you not looking like you for anybody but your goddamn selves. That's what our sis Mo was telling everybody. But before I wrap this shit up, let me get the rest of my music popping. Come on. We are cooking today, y'all. All right? Giving the roses to the queen of comedy and realism. All hail Queen Mo. You understand? Now we have to understand that there's puppeteers or puppet masters behind all the strings at all times, especially when it comes to our sisters getting their fair share and their just due in Hollywood. But never forget, family, we gotta keep this shit in mind. All type of finessing, it doesn't just look like one-sided type of bullshit. There's so many other elements in place. So many other factors to take into consideration. But Mo is letting you know what's really happening out there. And some of the people that you're praising who seem to be, for Black American people, they're really not. And that's just 100. So with that being said, B1 family, I want to thank everybody for tapping in with me today here, the chef from New Jersey. Remember, be sure to go over and check out those companies, holisticvibes.com, wishingyouwould.com, and justsalads.com. All right? You go actually see those people in person if you feel like it. And remember, for all of those locations, make sure you let them know the chef sent you. I want to thank everybody for tapping in with me today. This was a strong broadcast, y'all. Hanging in there with me till the end. At the end of this clip, my family, make sure you go ahead and click on that Whoopi Goldberg unpacking, just in case you need a memory refresher coming from the chef here. And most importantly, my B1 family, remember, in a system of white supremacy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. B1.